Hi, I'm Phyllis, southernfrugal.com. Today we're going to have a meal, and this is really from the 1950s, I'd say the late 1950s, and it's going to be some glazed, really country ribs. You can do this with pork chops too. So let me show you what they look like. Alright, these are country ribs, and there's 6 of them here, and the cost was $3.93, which I thought was pretty good. So we're going to make a glaze to go on these. Now all of this meal is going to be cooked in the oven, and this is exactly the kind of meal I used to cook when I worked. So we're going to make the little glaze to go on first. So you're going to need some orange marmalade. Let me turn that up a little bit right there. All right, so we want a cup of orange marmalade to go on these country ribs. And I've got a 2-cup measure here that I'm putting this in. Now, to this, we're going to add 2 tablespoons. You could use soy sauce, basically get the same taste. But I'm not going to add any salt because this has got lots of salt in it already. Then we're going to add, this is 3 large cloves of garlic chopped up. And this is about, I don't know, that's probably a little over a tablespoon of chopped fresh ginger. So all we're going to do is just mix this up real good. Now this works well on chicken also. It works especially good on pork. It smells great. Now I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water to this. And we're going to be making this in the oven, so a lot of this water is going to evaporate. All we're going to do now is pour this over the country ribs. Don't need to do another thing to them. And as I said, a lot of this water is going to evaporate and leave you with a little bit of a sauce in there. Alright, so we're going to set this aside now because it's ready to go in the oven. And now the next thing I'm going to get ready to go in the oven, this is sweet potatoes. Now these were sweet potatoes that I cooked in the Instant Pot, and then I pressed them into a little muffin tin. You can sort of see my handprint on the top of those, and they're still frozen. So they're already cooked. So what I'm going to do is just drizzle a little bit of vinegar over the top of them. Not much, but just a little bit. So they don't have any salt, no sugar, nothing else on them. Because this is not going to be like a sweet potato. I'm going to add a little olive oil to the top of them also. And I'm going to be putting them in the oven the same time that I put in the pork chops, and the reason this works is because they're still frozen. Now I will not be turning my oven on until I actually put these little Pyrex containers in the oven, because they're going to be really cold and I don't want them to break. So we're going to cook them at 350 degrees for about an hour. Alright, so the next thing is going to go right in the oven. It's going to be chopped spinach. This is frozen chopped spinach. I'm going to dump that in a casserole also. And we're going to need to break that up a little bit so it kind of lays down flat. Now it gets like in a frozen chunk sometimes in the freezer. That's really good enough. All right, now we're going to add some Parmesan cheese to the top of this. Let me get that out. And then we're going to add another surprising ingredient to the top of it. Let me move y'all closer here. There. All right, hold on. I'm not being a very good camera person today. There, that'll work. Move that over. There. All right, so we got some Parmesan cheese, and that's going to go on the very top here. As much as you like. Now, I'm not going to put any salt in this either because the Parmesan cheese has got tons of salt in it. And of course this is frozen now, so that's why this is going to work, because the sweet potatoes are still frozen and the spinach is still frozen. Alright, so now we're just going to, let me get a spoon here, spread this out a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to put maybe 1/4 of a cup of water in the bottom of this, because the spinach is going to be pretty watery on its own. So we're just going to put about 1/4 of a cup in the bottom. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to use is ground popcorn. Now where in the world do you get ground popcorn? This is that Orville Redenbacher, the kind that you pop in the microwave. So I popped it and then I put it in the Vitamix and ground it to a pulp. See that? Now, does it smell like popcorn? It absolutely does. I had it in the freezer, so I'm going to put that on top. Just enough to give it a little bit of a coating, like that. Now the steam from cooking the spinach and the extra 1/4 of a cup of water I put on the bottom is going to make this moist. And it's very, very light. Give the spinach a great taste. Again, let me tell you how I did this. I popped the popcorn, the same kind you put in the microwave, and then and this would probably work in a blender too, and I just ground it till it was just a fine powder, which really didn't take very long in the Vitamix, and then I froze it. Now I have tried using this in cornbread to make the cornbread taste more like popcorn. Guess what? It didn't work. It still tastes like regular cornbread, but this stuff smells, when you open this bag, it smells like you've just popped a whole bunch of popcorn. So delicious. Alright y'all, we are ready to put all this in the oven now. I'm putting it in a cold oven because this is still frozen and this is still frozen. So everything should be done in about an hour at 350 degrees. And I will be putting the pork in the back of my oven where it gets the warmest or the hottest. Alright y'all, when this gets done, we'll be back. Alright, we are back. It's been almost exactly 1 hour. Everything's done. I did cook some rice and I opened up a can of the little baby green limas. Just because I couldn't find any in the grocery store, I had to get a can of them. But anyway, here's what it looks like. There's the pork chops, or the country ribs, really. And if you wanted to thicken up that little sauce that's on them there, you could use a little cornstarch to do that. Now, I like it like that, but if you want it thicker, you could add a little cornstarch when you're actually cooking it. So let me get this on the plate and we'll show you what it looks like. We'll be back. Alright, here's what the meal looks like on the plate. This is the pork, of course, with the marmalade type dressing on it. There's the spinach and the little sweet potato. Now that's not going to be sweet because I put a little vinegar on it instead of salt. Here's rice and the green baby limas that were canned. And of course I've got our iced tea. There's Mr. Bucky's plate. And we're ready to eat. Okay, we will see y'all next time. This is just a oven meal that you can do when you get in from work, and it'll be ready in an hour, and it's very easy to put together. All right, we will see y'all next time. Bye for now.